Belize, wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB, get up, make every day count up. Wasted people, do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB, wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Another day is here. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up Belize, wake up Belize. Everybody gotta.
Welcome to Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Behind the zinc fence, 3304 Amandala Drive, Southside Belize City. It's Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes time. That means wake up mind, body, spirit. Wake up. I'm Sister YaYa, Marin, Coleman, sitting in for Brother Most High. This morning, Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. Give thanks and praises to the one and we'll wake up in our good mind and we body to move. From now until 9 o'clock, that's we time, the people's time. So, usual lineup, we have the weather forecast from the National Meteorological Service of Belize. The forecaster today is Tariq Matthews. And then we have the first news brief for the morning prepared by XTV Newsroom under the leadership of WUB Dynamic Sister Marisol Maya. Okay, how are you happy with the weather today?
Morning Belize. Our latest radar imagery showed little to no rainfall was observed over the country. Fair and dry conditions prevail over the area. At the 24-hour forecast, sunny with a few cloudy spells today and clear to partly cloudy skies tonight. Showers, if any, will be light and isolated. The for today will reach 83 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 88 inland, and 80 up in the hills. The low temperatures for tonight will be around 72 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 67 inland, and 62 up in the hills. The winds will be light and variable, becoming easterly at 5 to 10 knots later today, and the sea conditions will be slight. A high tide will occur this morning at 10:23, followed by a low tide this evening at 2 minutes after 4, another high tide tonight at 10:13, and another low tide early tomorrow morning at 4:58. The sun will rise this morning at 6:18 and will set this evening at 5:55. The moon will rise this morning at 6:25 and will set this evening at 6:17. In the sargassum forecast, satellite and surface observation continues to show a few sargassum mats offshore and along some coastal destinations. More mats are expected to drift ashore during the coming days, resulting in moderate impacts. In the fire risk forecast, the risk for forest or brush fires will remain low. The outlook for Wednesday and Wednesday night is for continuing fair and mostly dry conditions. Little or no rain is expected. For a review of our forecast and other products, please visit our website at nms.gov.bz. Our next forecast comes out at 12 p.m. this afternoon. With that, we end this morning's forecast from the Belize National Met Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
One of the resolutions passed at the People's United Party's National Party Council meeting in Belmopan on Sunday was a declaration of support for the pause on discussions regarding BTL's intended acquisition of SpeedNet Communications Limited. The resolution reaffirmed that, quote, competition, innovation, and consumer protection are the cornerstones of a healthy telecommunications sector, must demonstrably serve the Belizean people, not merely the commercial interests of shareholders, end quote. Addressing the gathering, Deputy Prime Minister Curdell Hyde used much of his podium time to welcome the pause. He even affirmed that everything leading up to the Prime Minister's order for the pause had been out of step with the PUP's values.
A year ago, we were flying high. A couple of months ago, we were flying sky high. Sky high. And then all this talk about the proposed acquisition of Smart came about, and then things get serious, and circumstances suddenly change far away. And I don't like to know, when it was announced that the Prime Minister pressed the pause button on the acquisition, me happy. I don't tell the truth, you never happy too? Tell the truth, man, you never happy too? The pause, that PUP at its best. What may happen before? Me don't know where that. That's not PUP. The pause, the PUP at its best. Because what the pause allows us to do now is to make sure that there is real, genuine consultation with the people of Belize on this issue, so that the technical people from BTL can go all across this country, go to the schools, go to UB, go to the community centers all across the country and talk to the people in our cordial way, in our honest way, in our open way, in our friendly way, and take their time doing it with no gun and nobody head. Take their time, one consultation at a time. And if after a couple months of consultation, the people not there with it, then BTL will have to take a chill pill, you know. They will have to shelf it. Because ultimately, it's the people of Belize who owns the company. I say, that's not the PUP way. In the PUP say, that's not the PUP way. In the PUP way, the people have a say every step of the way. Because ultimately, the people not elect them up, you know. They elect representatives. Representatives for represent their hopes and dreams, their ambitions and their aspirations, their interests and their desires. That's our job. That's how we do it in a PUP. We represent the people. We support them. We give them what they want. We make sure that we put the best foot forward every single time. And so in the democracy, meaningful consultation has to take place. BTL has to make a compelling case, because in a democracy, it cannot be that what is good for the government is bad for the people, and what is good for the people is bad for the government. That's not how it works. In our world, what is good for the government is good for the people every single time. There can be no other way. We're going to win election after election. Of course they want the power high horse. But then, every so often, because remember, we believe that collectively, the people always get it right. So every so often, the people have to serve at least slice a humble pie, right? And we have to be respectful and accept with scolding, accept with disciplining. Because ultimately, that the people have the power. Right about now, the leaders of this party, we have to stay on track with the people, not the other way around. Because the people, obviously, by all the victories that we've had, they've been staying on track with us. So now that we stay on track with the people, there can be no other way.
In his podium speech, party leader and Prime Minister John Briceño steered clear of the issue entirely. In an interview afterwards, the PM responded to the assertion that the DPM appeared to oppose the acquisition.
I don't see it that way. Absolutely not. And I see it that way. What he was, as I always said, that once we listen to the people, we can't go wrong. And so we did it as what he pointed out, the PUP way. We put a pause. And what we have done, as I said earlier, that we probably, that BTL put the cart in front of the horse. The Public Utilities Commission has stepped in to take a look at it. And if it is something that makes sense for BTL and for the country, then it's something that should be done. And also, it gives an opportunity to the Public Utilities Commission, if you sit there, also to start to put in the necessary regulations to regulate. Remember, BTL is no longer a telecommunication company. Telecommunication telephones or phone calls are being lost to WhatsApp and to Signal and those that are with it. So BTL have to be more strategic in their vision and to see how they can increase the profits of BTL, because if BTL were to crash, it's all of us, it's our money. So I will commend the Chairman Lizaraga and his management team to be forward-looking in trying to see how they could continue to increase profits. And I think that's what important. So the DPM was not against it. What he was saying, we are doing it the PUP way, that we always have to go back to the people, and once we have the people on our side, they are going to do well.
So do you think that you are getting away from the PUP way by not having these consultations?
Absolutely not. I don't know how you could come to that conclusion. Remember, the BTL is a private company, and they believe that they were doing it right because as a private company, it's a private decision. But it is obvious, I think, that people want to make sure, they want more information, and people want to ensure, since we own the company, we the people, have to ensure that the decisions that they make are in the interest of we the people.
Communication on Monday, Belize Telemedia Limited notified the Belize Communication Workers for Justice BCWJ that it has agreed to pay severance to former employees whose employment ended more than 6 years ago, despite the Limitation Act. The group has been invited to a meeting today to finalize the payment terms. Retired public officers who are calling for the government to dissolve a 2014 trust fund set up to compensate for an increment freeze between 1995 and 1997 are suing the government in hopes of finally getting their money. The government, as a settler of the Public Sector Workers Trust, PSWT, agrees with the dissolution, but the setback is the lack of a transcript for Court of Appeal proceedings on the matter. Hubert Enriquez, the president of the Association of Beneficiaries and Retired Public Officers, ABRPO, says they are following the advice from their attorneys at Courtney's Coe LLP that the lawsuit can bring final resolution to the matter. A case management session is to be held today when a related matter being brought by the government against the trustees of the PSWT will be heard jointly. Enriquez shared the declarations they are seeking.
First thing would be that all the monies that are in the accounts for the PSWT, as well as the assets of the PSWT, that there's a declaration from the court that those belong to the beneficiaries of PSWT, and that they be turned over to PSWT, to beneficiaries. There's a mechanism set up to do that, no? Even up to the date, we don't yet have a list of beneficiaries who are entitled. So we're asking that the government prepares and submits a list of all those persons who are beneficiaries of this trust. Also, the same regard the property of the PSWT, because they have property, like, for instance, BTL shares. All those things, we have to take an account of them. We also need to get an audit, a proper audit of the accounts of the PSWT, and to determine, if in fact they're accurate and if there is any misappropriation of funds. And then they also want an injunction which will restrain the PSWT from carrying out any further functions, and that the court set up a mechanism to deal with the ordinary termination of the trust and the distribution of assets to beneficiaries.
According to the ABRPO, there are some 8,000 surviving beneficiaries. On September 23, 2025, Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) authorities carried out a targeted enforcement operation in Houston, Texas, to locate 29-year-old Belizean Cindy Vanessa Marino Flores, who was illegally residing in Conroe, Texas. According to ICE authorities, as Marino Flores was entering her vehicle, she was approached by an ICE officer who informed her that she was under arrest. However, instead of complying, she pulled away from the officer, inflicting a deep scratch to the officer's upper left arm. She's also accused of swinging her arm in an apparent attempt to hit the officer. She then fled and ran into a group of bystanders, but was eventually caught and placed under arrest. Nicholas J. Ganji, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Texas, later announced that Marino Flores pleaded guilty to assaulting an ICE officer. According to the original investigation, it was revealed that the judge had U.S. District Judge George Hanks has deferred sentences to a sentencing date. Ganji said, quote, "It is unacceptable for illegal aliens to assault these agents as they carry out that important mission. The Southern District of Texas will persecute those who do so every single time." End quote. In an interview after the PUP's National Party Council meeting on Sunday, Prime Minister John Briceño was reminded of his remarks last year after the March elections that this would likely be his last term. Here's how he responded when asked if he would stick to his word.
I said that back then, but people are behind me that it's something that I have to reconsider whether I want to or not. But I believe that whenever the time comes to leave, I think that what do I want to see as my legacy? That I made Belize better, that the future for Belize will be brighter, that we'll be able to get more of our kids into schools, that we have an economy that's resilient and creating opportunities for people, that we can create more entrepreneurs in our country, that the protection of the environment that is more important than ever. That's why we're doing this million tree planting program that we have put in place. These are some of the elements that I want that people could remember, and that more than anything else, that people can think about me as a leader with compassion, a leader that truly cares and that truly loves the Belizean people.
Coming to the end of this morning news brief, immediately following WB, you could tune into Creme Radio and listen to Mornings 2 from 9 to 12. Hope I get more news and community conversation. On Creme Radio at 12:30, they have a full news package. At 3 o'clock, there's a news brief, and at 5:15, there's a full news package. Here at XTV at 6 o'clock, full news package at 6 o'clock. You could go download the Creme Radio or XTV app, or you could always go to YouTube, XTV Belize, Facebook, XTV Belize. Listen at your convenience and share the link, share the link, share the link. Quick break, and then we'll come back and open up the phone line.
Informative, accurate, current information. Crem's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223.
It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio, 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Community conversation time, people time from now until 9 o'clock this morning. The phone number for call at 280-5848. 280-5848. We know that phone's supposed to ring off at the hook this morning. Cause it's the people's victory. Big up, big up, big up the leadership of Belize Communications Workers for Justice, Sister Emily Turner, and all the former BTL employees. Morning, talk to it this morning.
Good morning, YaYa. This is Sandra Toy.
Yes.
I'm calling.
I'm not hearing you.
We've led the charge on opposing this BTL smart affair. Man, you've only postponed it. You're acting, not you.
The call keep dropping, sis. I'm not hearing you right now. Hello? Oh, the call dropped. So that was Sister Sandra Kawe with the first call. And I'm going to make the point that the BTL board, the cabinet, never take...
When the year ended and maybe another time in the year, we only got it once a year. And nothing you did could convince Mommy not to do it. Nothing you did. Once my sister actually, in her resentment, slapped the person helping Mommy. Well, I don't need to tell you what happened. Mommy hand went up and slapped the niece, and I said, well, why would you do that? She's going to give you again. No, yeah. Don't use the word pause. I don't want to hear no word pause. We need a national communication strategy that is participated in its development by the country. Because you're coming back again. They tell us they're going to send their technicians all over the country to explain it to us. Aren't they running ads convincing us how good it is? Haven't you heard the ads?
Yes, Sister Sandra.
Yes, you're running ads. So you're dealing, the sad thing about the politicians in this country is they deal with the people of this country the way these men and women deal with each other. They beat you, then they come back and tell you how they love you, and they buy you some plate of this and plate of that, and you know what, all address and support, and we're back to business again, and the beatings start again. That is the way we are dealt with as a people. Am I right or wrong, YaYa?
There are a number of situations where that has happened, yes.
Pardon?
I said I have a number of situations where that has happened, yes.
Yes. You beat us and then you come back. No, man. This is a different time. The Creole saying this is a time not like a before times. This is a time in history when we can't afford any of your nonsense and your mistakes. Please. Let's move away from Belize. Go right over the Atlantic to Europe. The big conference they had over the weekend. What did the Americans do? They sent the Secretary of State Rubio to sort of cajole and the Europeans, but the Europeans are not. Maybe some of them cajole, but I could tell you the bulk of them not cajole at all. Book out a page out of other people's booking.
Sister Sandra, one of the things I want to ask you, Sister Sandra, one of the things I want to ask you is when you go online and you look at the annual general meeting for BTL, then pretty much always they tell you how good the company they do.
Exactly.
So
and evidently it's not doing good. Let's start right there. You are going to buy this. You are going to buy this. Forget about Smart. A whole other cable company that, by the way, is a technology on the way out. And you were going to pay $170 million for that. But you were going to pay down a deposit. At least we know you were going to pay a deposit on the Smart purchase. So we are right to assume you were going to pay a deposit on the whole purchase, because evidently you don't have the money to buy. And then you were going to pay the rest at 4% for 4 years. I think I may be wrong on this, 4.5% or 4% at 4 years. But we were going to be paying in installments at an interest. So on top of, so the purchase price is even what you're telling us. It's more than that because we had the interest to pay.
Sister Sandra, Sister Emily Turner on Sunday said, when you're adding the attorney fees, they're close up to me and be like 200 million.
Wait, nothing you said was clear. Just now repeat again, please.
Sister Emily Turner said on Sunday Review this past Sunday, when you're adding the attorney fees, it may be closer to 200 million.
Yes, and then you add in the legal fees, and then you add in the tax. listen to me, man. You're not talking to people who now have no sense. That you treat us. This has been my eternal problem with the politicians in this country. And if you are better at this cajoling, the UDP, they tend to want to bulldoze you over when they want to get their way and bulldoze you. You're doing to us with this exactly what you did with the Guatemala referendum. Exactly. You have already made up your mind what you all want. And you're going to get what you want, come hell, high water, or the devil. Well, look at where at the ICJ now, an ICJ that can't get one single ruling on Palestine, the Gaza, and the West Bank implemented. Not one. They continue killing them like ants and fly, whatever roach, whatever you kill that way, that's how they're killing those people. So you come back the same thing with us, man.
Sister Sandra.
And notice, YaYa, Starlink is discussed in the public, but they themselves are not telling us exactly what it is they are planning for the communications industry of this country. They are not telling us.
Sister Sandra,
exactly what they're planning.
The point you're making about, for the most part, we the Belizean people being ignorant as in lack of knowledge, and most of we not seem to have no desire to have the knowledge, so that when they come sweet talk way, we go for it. But what different in this case, the former BTL employees, for example, are very knowledgeable about that company. So even though I know they want to get them bag of money, I really encourage them to continue the education, knowledge sharing process. For all no can tell we about BTL, what BTL not to tell we about BTL, because they don't know how to build BTL.
Exactly so. It is. You know, YaYa, we have to change. We, the people, have to change. The leadership, they are lost. They are all lost. But they are lost because we are lost. We have to, we are living in a time when you need alliances. We will need alliances. Now, look at America. America is a situation falling apart. Just take health, YaYa. There's a flu. I don't know what's the state of the flu now epidemic in the United Kingdom, but it was raging in the United Kingdom, so that at the climax, they were going to have almost triple the amount of, if not more, the amount of flu cases they normally have in the winter. And it's because it's a more serious form of flu. Then initially it wasn't speculated that their connection between that flu and the COVID, corona, whatever name you want to give it. Then it crossed the Atlantic. Now, I don't know where all it is in the U.S., but I know definitely it reached New York. I know it reached New York, and I know that I can say I fought a version of whatever it was that was so serious enough that I'm still fighting the remnants of it. You see? But have you heard, but America, because the current administration has dismantled the health system. That's what they have done in the United States. They have dismantled research and development. They have dismantled data collection. The CDC is in a mess. They have dismantled inoculation and the national inoculation program at every level. So you have measles all over the place. Children are dying of measles in the United States. Then, as though that all were not bad enough, you have done the most critical part. You have withdrawn the funding for medical assistance to the financially incapable, the poor. I'm not going to use the word the poor because it's different levels. So who all might fall into that? The Native Americans, the original inhabitants of the United States living on the reservation and all over. Then blacks, the slaves brought in, the heirs of the slaves brought in, who are still in a slave position. Then Latins who don't think they are black, they don't think they have any black blood. They see themselves as white, blue-eyed Anglo-Saxons, which they are not. They are threatened. Then, I'm using the word then, maybe I shouldn't. Look at it circular. Poor white Americans, all the poor white people living in the Appalachian Mountains, in the former coal mining areas, there are many of them suffering too. And it's in their separation that they turn to prejudice to secure some little bit of relief from the system. All of this medical dismantling, that's what these people are facing. So you can imagine when a serious pandemic or situation, people won't be able to keep up their cost of living has risen in the United States. So my opinion is people are not feeding themselves as properly as they might have when the cost of living was lower. So they're not getting the nutrition. Then on top of the nutrition, when they get ill, they don't have the medical assistance to go and get their illnesses tended to. So they are going to get sick. No wonder maybe about that. And we deal with many Americans in the tourism industry, and you see the rich always think they won't get sick. That's a lie. Go and study the plague. All of them died. The aristocrats at the top and the who is more exposed than you, and then they bring their disease to you, and you take their disease to them, and before you know it, you have a mess. So this is the problem. This is what we are dealing with. Now, in that scenario, what are we? We spit on the street, we urinate, some of us even defecate stool in the public areas. Then we have a lot of homeless people who have no means of defending themselves from the elements, have poor nutrition, generally eat out of dirt box. We have all of that. Is our government, instead of paying attention, fooling around with details, are they paying attention to our health? Yeah, you see any program going on that is addressing all the different scares that are affecting out there and trying to make sure that they don't come here? You see that happening?
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of either. Man, there was, in houses where there was somebody who was infected, that person was moved off to isolation at an established sanatorium up in the Pine Ridge to cure, but recognizing that they didn't have the curing conditions in their homes. And then that home was properly disinfected by the government. So you knew it got done. It wasn't left to the money of the, because the people wouldn't have the money, they don't know how the equipment, they did it. Well, I was told we don't do that anymore. But that the place remains contaminated. But they don't do that anymore. So we have to get sensible. We have to get sensible because with leadership they're lost.
Sister Sandra, what the Belize Communication Workers for Justice has done, they were a good example of people who stay knowledgeable, focus on one particular thing and stay together. It's a big victory for the people.
Well, yes, I definitely support them. I definitely support them getting their severance, definitely. And I pointed out to them that the references for just wages and all those benefits, one of the leading articles that can be read, it was written in 1891. It is on capital and labor, written by the then Pope Leo XIII, the predecessor to this current Pope. Because at that time, while the church had not taken a formal position on labor and capital, they took it in the midst of exactly what they're trying to avoid. Sickness and exploitation, just rising unionism. Europe was in an uproar, a turmoil, because of they were reaping the ill harvest of the Industrial Revolution, which had started in the 1700s, that's in the 1750s thereabout, you can face it more or less. And the consequences, the height of the consequences now were being reaped as they moved into the second industrialization. So you see, as you move from one level of organization to another, there is always this order, uproar, upheaval, chaos, and then if you don't deal with the reasons for that, when you enter the next, you enter the possibility what we ended up with a First World War, a Second World War, not to mention what came before. This is what we should all on the planet be dedicating ourselves to avoiding.
Sister Sandra, I want you to stretch talking on an important topic we bring up yesterday. And I learned one terminology called digital sovereignty, where the data from the citizens in our country either go to the United States, what I call the big five tech, or the country itself based on the country government. They hold the data and then outsource it to another country that believes, and that's why I want to stretch talking upon it, that believes when it comes to, while the political leadership, they try to act like they're so brilliant and the population act totally illiterate, then they're self-ignorant about digital sovereignty. Until you bring it up yesterday, sis.
I said if you study, a good model now to study is the European conflict with the United States, with the big tech. And I've talked about this before. The Europeans have produced a legislation called the Digital Services Act. And it is that legislation that has the Americans led by the president because the Europeans are objecting to the behavior, to the monopolization, to the extraction of wealth from Europe by the tech giants in the United States. It has brought upon them the ire of the American president, to the point where I never knew there was such a post, and the Undersecretary for Public Diplomacy is a lady. She was given the responsibility for withdrawing, adjusting, prohibiting, whatever, the visas of a number of calculated to rewrite the mental structures of recognizing that there is a problem and challenging the Americans, and the Americans are coming down heavy on them. I have kept saying Mr. Musk is due to appear before the French judiciary on April the 20th to explain the presence of pornography, particularly child pornography. Little children have been used in the pornographic material in his offices in France. We are not doing anything like that, YaYa. The British are being asked to submit their information on the national health system as a part of a digital agreement. Emmanuel Macron has used the word digital sovereignty. Canada is using the word food sovereignty because they understand the United States wanted Canada to drop all the preventions from allowing dairy imports into Canada. Canadians said, no man, we have Quebec right here. Quebec is our bread basket when it comes to dairy products. We don't want none of the thing. What did Mark Carney use? The word food sovereignty. So we have to start thinking of sovereignty at every level. Every level. This man is going to float over 1 million satellites up there in the atmosphere, but that atmosphere is above us. So imagine, YaYa, if we can organize the Caribbean, just the Caribbean starting, but you see the Caribbean has to wake up to take on the task of saying, we will stand on these principles in our little area, up from the ground down there, deep down in the ground, up there, way up in the atmosphere. This is going to be the Caribbean stance. Then we will have an ally, because we can cross the Atlantic Yes, we will be dealing with former colonial masters and all of that, but we will be dealing with them in a symmetrical arrangement, not an asymmetrical one where they tell we what to do and then we say yes, master, and run and do it. We will be dealing with them as joint partners in the endeavor to save human life. That's what the lady told me. There was an interview done with her. I don't remember. Maybe you can find it on PBS, I think. She was she said no. She said they want, I am paraphrasing her, how people will continue to migrate. What the Americans now want Europeans to do is to close the door on migration, period. To save the civilization. This is what they're talking about. Civilizational erasure. And the Europeans are objecting. They're saying we're not erasing our civilization. Why are you bringing that nonsense to us? Are you aware that Orban in Hungary was yesterday openly endorsed by the Secretary of State of the United States for his next, I think it's his 5th or 6th presidential term, which he should be having at all. So he's evidently president for life. Evidently. So, YaYa, how do our people have to get, I am starting in Belize, but I am taking it to the region, the Caribbean, and to the Latin American region. You see, if we stand as a people, as a hemisphere that knows what colonization looked like for 500 years, we don't become committed, we don't become devoted to the cause of committed, we don't become devoted to the cause of our not keep doing what we are doing, because, in other words, it's all of us, because you know the Caribbean, like, so we don't make no contribution to climate change. Oh, really? But we buy their products. We buy the industrial products they produce. Let's start there. We are busy in the tourism industry, what? Cutting down forests to build resorts. Aren't we doing that?
Yes.
So we are part of the problem. Aren't we now facing the possibility, Belize, of having our water bought to cool their data centers? We will be part of the competition for water because we have a lot of water. But will we always have that water, YaYa?
No.
I don't think so.
It's been a while now that it's been said that water, that the next natural resource after oil that's going to be needed and short.
What the thing the fight in Palestine is about the River Jordan. It's the water. It's the water they want. What do you think? There was a civilization, YaYa, that your listeners should type in a search. Mohenjo-Daro. One of the most advanced civilizations that humanity has ever produced. It was in the Indus Valley, in that area of India. It's no more. Long gone. It was a society that, from all appearances, was an egalitarian society. Egalitarian. 4,000 years before Europe would have sewage control, they had underground canals leading sewage into for disposal. They had flush toilets. And those people were black in color, black people, possibly with straight hair, but black in dark in skin. These people, extraordinary civilization. You know what brought that civilization to it? Not war, not invasion, sickness. Sickness. So when they began to die, people ran from the death and scattered all over South Asia, all over that area. Everybody in that area has their genes. But that civilization is no more. So don't think for 1 minute that a country and a civilization and a world civilization cannot collapse. It can collapse. It can collapse because you studied that civilization to understand what really happened there. No war, there's no sign of palaces.
Well, Sister Sandra, every civilization has collapsed, and that's one of the conversations that the United States, especially based on the value of their money, is collapsing.
Exactly so. Exactly so. They collapse because humans are limited. We will always be. We are not God. We are humans. We make errors, we make mistakes, and we may have advanced knowledge to a point, and beyond that, we don't have the knowledge. And it's the lack of that knowledge that then becomes our Achilles heel. So the challenge in life is to every day.
Senscom Time is being brought to us by Fort Point Security.
Good morning, guys. You're watching WUB and Creme Television and Creme Radio. And today, 2 cents question of the day is, what do Belizeans know about the Constitution, law, and right of Belize? But we find out the people in 2 cents. All right?
Yeah, the Constitution should be the supreme law of the land. But sadly, the Constitution, that is set of laws where they broke every single day. You know, and we seem not to be able to do anything about it because we are a bunch of people we don't believe in taking matters to court. And until we learn to do that, we will get trampled on.
Yeah, you're 2 cents.
Yep.
You're 2 cents.
Yeah, my 2 cents.
Oh, you, Papa? What you know about the Constitution right of Belize? You don't know nothing? All right, Dad. What you know about the Constitution right of Belize, Dad?
Nothing.
Nothing? All right.
Land of the law, and so every law we're stipulating a constitution. That is what it is, and that is the biggest law in the land. So it's simple and easy as farmer, lawmaker. The constitution is the final stop.
Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas, ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales. Nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m., en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, text, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only 130.
Just can't keep up? It's time for a change. GE Appliances delivers reliability, innovation, and performance you can trust. The decision is easy. Don't settle for less. Choose quality. Choose reliability. Choose GE.
We recently formed MOUs with the American Hotel and Lodging Education Institute, which is the education arm of the American Hotel and Lodging Association, and also with the American Culinary Federation to do culinary training. We're here to celebrate our accomplishments. And this is not about replacing Belizean cuisine. This is about, we want the Belizean cuisine, we want the Belizean richness and diversity, right? So this is about your skills. You all know what you all learned, so it's about transferring that skill.
We want to inspire this career because, you know, it's amazing. You love what you do, right? And it really is something that I think we can inspire other young Belizeans to undertake. And it's now part of your responsibility as those who have received this training and see a pathway for greater things.
Just to put it into perspective, there's only about 6,000 certified executive chefs in North America. There is only 69 certified master chefs in the world. There is less than 10 certified executive pastry chefs in this entire world. And now in Belize, we have 3 sitting in this room.
Belize Morning Vibes. It's a conversation with Sister Sandra Coe just now, and I called back during the break. If anybody want to follow up on the Munich conference, I think it called, and where he said Macron had said that the US that France need for the risk from the United States, because as Belizean people that we remember this moment, that when people organize in their own interests, what a victory it is. I mean, the sheer, as I don't know if you're not calling, I want to keep telling about the past. If I said a mosquito, they fly around here, me and Cliff in the exchange mosquito story just now, where I went to, anyway, we have to say that mosquito story for another time, but a mosquito, they terrorized me for that coming in the studio this morning. So yes, we Belizeans don't know for we past stories are working class people organizing in Belize, holding power accountable and winning. They might not always get where you negotiate for or where you know you deserve as a people, but you have to be organized, be knowledgeable, like Sister Sandra was making the point, get serious about studying, about learning, about relearning. Morning, thanks for calling WB. Talk to me.
Good morning, Sister YaYa.
Morning.
My friend.
Yes, tell me.
Yes. I listened to the friendly minister a while ago on the news about Minister Hyde. Yeah. about this thing with BTL Smart, no? And I heard him say exactly what I have alluded briefly. Nothing to the extent because the vote will reward, the taxpayer. If they're for it, they will vote for it. If they're not for it, they don't vote for it. Like we're going to the ICJ, our national issue. Well, the ICJ is far more important to me. But listen, I felt so good listening to the minister. Well, I like when he addressed it in Naki Creole. I like that, yes. But he make me feel that they honor my advice. That's the way I feel. Take care, my friend.
Okay, brother, thanks for the call. Valid point. Referendum could be one useful tool. But the root of that need for be that people have knowledge and people process the knowledge. People develop better listening skills. People could have conversations or even reasonable argument with each other with the intention of learning and building with knowledge so that we could stop make them take we make konomono and make we get out of this mental enslavement mindset that because people look one certain way or have one certain last name or have one certain position or have colonial papers that they the expert on everything or anything. Morning, talk to me.
I'm back again, but I just want to respond and then make another comment on food.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a referendum. But what good is a referendum to start with when the referendum does not have to be honored? To start with, in this country, the referendum law does not oblige government to go along with what decision is rendered in the referendum. That's number one. So that needs to be corrected. Number two, the government cannot make up its mind what they want you to vote for and then mobilize everything, all the resources, millions of dollars, all the celebrities in Belize and everybody to get you to give them the response they want. Isn't that what the referendum on the ICJ was about?
Yes, it was, Sister Sandra.
Where the government, and in my opinion, the opposition, I see them the same thing on that matter. They made up their mind what they wanted to please their external masters. And we were all turned it together. I had a friend, YaYa, who said that he understood that if you said yes, you were saying yes to go to the ICJ. And if you said no, you were saying no. If you said yes, you are saying yes, Guatemala has a claim and you want the claim to go to the ICJ. And that if you said no, you are saying yes, Guatemala has a claim, but I don't want it to go to the ICJ. He said he understood that. You know, he went and voted to go to the ICJ. After telling him many times what he had understood. Went and voted to go to the ICJ. Because our people are worried and frightened to step out of line. Isn't that at the heart of our problem? We like to figure out where the master wants we set. And then when we think we have figured it out, then we are prepared to have an opinion. Because remember, we will need a little money from the master, we will need our house rent paid and our light bill paid and our water bill paid and this and that, and so we don't step out of line.
Sister Sandra, another one of the big difference what I appreciate about Cuba, because immediately coming out of the revolution, they make sure that then people become literate. A literate population harder for control and manipulate, and that's why I push back on the church-state system, because the schooling. And so you can't blame, I can't blame people for be how they are, because that's what is school, the church-state school system teach them to be, follow, be obedient, no resist, blind obedience.
Well, it's not only the church-state school system, YaYa. Any system that is based on totalitarianism, authoritarianism, means that me, the authority, know it all, and you below me know nothing.
Indeed.
So automatically, and this brings me now to food. remember I said Mark Carney in Canada articulated clearly the concept of food sovereignty. And it takes me back to my childhood. I was born in 48. My sister was born in 1952. And I don't know what I was fed as a baby, but I know what my sister was fed as a baby. But I know what my mother told me I was fed. So prior to giving birth to me, Mommy had developed problems with her kidneys, a number of problems that may accompany a first pregnancy. So when Mommy went to Dr. Hull's to deal with her problems and, of course, the kidney problem, she noticed she didn't get a prescription for her kidneys. So she said to Dr. B, Dr. Hull, aren't you going to give me something to do? She said, yes, I just already told you, Margaret. So she said, what? She said, I told you, tell Lupe, go and buy 2 sacks of coconut and drink the water 3 large glasses a day. What herbs, what food the people traditionally, what herbs, what food the people ate or were available to help in the situation. This is what she told me. But the point made there, YaYa, is because Dr. B was Belizean, she was able to look at the situation and decide that of all the prescriptions she could have given my mother, the best one was for her kidneys. And I was born. Now, I was taken from Mommy with forceps. I wasn't damaged. I suffered no brain damage. I would later on in my life learn you can be damaged when you're taken from in pregnancy with forceps, but I wasn't damaged. So I know my mother said, because it was on the basis of what she said they need, we were fed inordinate amounts of fish, mashed brown foods, both potato, yam, pea, not cassava. Mommy never gave us cassava, that she said. And I never saw her give Denise cassava.
And had cocoa?
And,
cocoa, and had cocoa?
Yeah, cocoa too. So the point I'm making is that then in Belize, people ate large amounts of fish because fish was one of the cheapest proteins. People grew chickens, but chickens were, at least in my home, it was only ate on a Sunday. Eaten on the weekend because you had to pick the chicken and nobody had time to do all of that during the week. And then you would deplete your chicken stock. So our people, the point is that nutrition, I find the quality of mind of my mother and grandmother's generation, on both sides, my parents, far different than now, YaYa. Because the foods we are eating now many of them are highly processed. Let's start there. Highly processed. We don't have any more sovereignty over fish. Look at the cost of fish. When I was a little girl, fish was 10 cents and 15 cents a pound. Of course, relevant to the cost of living of the time. But people could eat, they could get fish. If they couldn't get anything else, they could eat fish. And fish is an excellent protein. As a matter of fact, in the Christian religion, they were obliged to eat fish on the church law, particularly during the Lenten season.
Which begins tomorrow, Sister Sandra.
Pardon?
Lent begins tomorrow, Ash Wednesday.
Exactly. Let our people need to take a look. Why is it we seem so false? To start with, women did not drink as much as they drink now, and so their eggs were not, in my opinion, as damaged. So when they gave birth to babies, and most babies were breastfed, babies were cared for far more carefully than they are now. So babies did not, we don't get that good protein as much as we did when I was a child. When I was a child, YaYa, we got the local fish, snapper, kingfish, but those don't have the high levels of omega-3 oils that the cold water fish have. So in those days, we used to import codfish. So by eating codfish, not a lot, maybe once a month in codfish ball, like it's fry, we got the omega, the oils produced by cold water fish, which are good for the brain. Good for the brain. All those ground foods we ate when I was a child, those having high concentrations of natural chemicals that are like steroids, very common. Remember, you have yellow-tailed snapper, red-tailed snapper, black snapper. You have a variety of snappers. Tail snapper, black snapper. You have a variety of snappers. Our saltwater fish don't have the omega-3 oils that you get, the oils that you get that are good for the brain, are good for the joints, and stuff that you get in the cold water fish, because logically, the fish that swim in cold seas have to have some defense against it. But Belizeans used to take a lot of cod liver oil. I don't know if they gave that to you as a child.
Yes.
But we were fed on cod liver oil.
And then you had the pill. The 7 Seas cod liver oil pill.
Yes, we didn't go to school and catch cold the way children now go as they land in school, they are catching a cold. We didn't do that. And Belize was a colder place. It was a far colder place. Let's take the time you eat. Belizeans ate a fairly light breakfast. Their heaviest meal was at midday, and their lightest meal was in the evening. You know that is really a better distribution of the consumption of carbohydrates and protein. We didn't go to bed with a heavy stomach. So,
and there were more home-cooked meals, Sister Sandra.
Pardon?
There were more home-cooked meals.
Exactly so. Man, you ladies, my mother worked. Mommy worked all my childhood outside of her home. She wanted to work. Mommy wanted to work. But my mother got up. I watched her as a little girl. You cut up the breadfruit with the skin on. You don't have to peel it. You cut it with the skin, you pop it in your oven, and you bake it. And then you cut off the skin as you're eating it. You're going to get a lot of nutrition out of that. Let's do the thing differently. Let's take soft drinks, one of the worst things for consumption. You know how many people are buried with kidney problems because of soft drinks? I would drink that once in a blue moon if I go to somebody's home. You'll never find a soft drink bottle in my home because I don't buy. I don't. You know why, YaYa? Because in past, when I was a child, you only got soft drink at Christmas and Easter. That was the only time we bought soft drinks. You couldn't go to shop and buy soft drinks when I was a little girl. You went and bought Fresco. It was not soft drinks.
Where does buy?
Huh?
Where does buy French cups?
Fresco.
Oh, Fresco. Ice, yes.
Ice with syrup on it.
Yes.
That's what we ate. But the point I'm trying to make is exactly what Mr. Carney made of Canada. He said, no, man, we can't let in your dairy. We have our own. Our people are used to eating our own. And before we give you our money for your own, we are going to give our people our money for theirs.
Sister, but that's one of the things where the IMF may known for. If you want this money, the International Monetary Fund, this is what you have to do. Now, they don't want your people produce anymore, but they want to flood your market with for them people thing.
Exactly. And that is when your sovereignty begins to manifest itself. When Europe is saying Spain is about to pass a law as they were poor, they were not honored, it is the Australians who produced the secret ballot. And it is now the Australians who have led the way in addressing the problem of how much digital exposure we really want our children to have. How much, I'm not saying their law is the best law, I'm not saying, but it is at least a decision by a nation to address the problem of digital sovereignty over their young.
Sister Sandra, I have to go to a break. Big thanks for the reasoning, though. Thanks for call back.
Bye-bye.
One love. Break time.
Get ready for fantastic fantastic discounts. From now through to September 30th, Venice is having store-wide discounts on tools, paints, appliances, plumbing and electrical products, lights and fans, household items, and much, much more. Visit a Venice store near you to enjoy fantastic discounts from now through to September 30th. Only at Venice. Quality and savings.
Sea una persona ocupada o atrapada en el tráfico, o que tenga una circunstancia adversa o muy exigente, la tensión se acumula y lo estresa. El estrés ataca a todos en cualquier momento, a cualquier edad. El estrés es un asesino. Es mejor estar vivo que muerto, así que visite la farmacia de Freetown para obtener opciones.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué puedo hacer para usted hoy?
Estoy bien estresado.
Ok, tengo una pastilla que te va a ayudar, ¿ok? Que toma una de eso al día para 10 días y va a estar bien después, ¿sabes?
Ok. Farmacia Freetown, carretera 28 Freetown, donde estás mejor vivo que muerto. Farmacia Freetown, teléfono 22 32 87 6.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
than a month, less than 30 days. And because of the collective strength, the willingness to stay focused, to trust one another, to be knowledgeable, to be creative, to trust one woman younger than most of them, leadership. This is a one good set of people for study, to see what organized people could do when they come together. The requests at our group right now, no, not finalizing, for meet today with the BTL people and representatives from the Labor Commission. The Labor Commissioner wants to send representative for be observers that is meeting. Is for us then for continue, for share knowledge, and for especially because the proposed acquisition of SpeedNet Smart by BTL is on a pause. The position that no, we no one do it. The position is we just press pause. So pause means you intend to resume at some later date. We don't have the knowledge that we need, and there's a reason why the BTL board chooses to not share the knowledge. Remember, for almost 7 months, they denied that this may even happen. And then because of collective people pressure, eventually the other cable companies drop out of the deal. So I want Belizeans recognize that the power of the people is always greater than the people in power. One should become knowledgeable, you strategize, you find allies, and you get creative and with your messaging, and you stay the course. So that would mean a big win for we collectively that the cable company then pull out. Now, I holla for the Belize Communication Workers for Justice team for now spread the knowledge for how BTL operate. Uno know how uno build it from the bottom up. You know how they have this stamp where I say made in Belize? But I need to take one picture of BTL and put that stamp on it. We say made by Belizeans. Because Belizeans build that bottom up. And from being on the protest line with them and hearing the stories, like they literally. And that because of their sweat, tears, sacrifice, effort, while BTL, they make the bag what they make now, you don't want go spend the money how they want without any meaningful people participation. Now, I said it on Sunday Review on Sunday. We know that what we call consultation no work and has never worked and never designed for work. So if you just go and do one quick search online about the difference between consultation and people power, you will find that consultation, according to this definition, they usually want formal government-led process to gather feedback on proposed policies or decision. So, then don't make up their mind what they and they know. You just say ask you how to feel about it, but regardless of how to feel about it, the government don't make one decision on it. Whereas with active people process, with active people power, there's organizing, there's knowledge sharing, and when the decision have to make, that really one collaborative process between the people in a way participate, they like the stakeholders. And stakeholders are pretty word for certain kind of people. They're not talk about the majority of everyday working class people who fuel this country's economy. But we, the everyday people, have one duty to say enough now. Enough. I mean, the politicians then could talk, put the talk all they want. What then they say, I want we to live out a road that two different things. And so that's why, remember the phone number at 280-5848. That's why I did go back. You know how we go. We say February, that Black History Month, that 24/7, 365. Because as African descendants from African heritage communities and people, we experience this every single day. But during this time in February, we would look at the past and where we people do, we're very honoring to we, and we live off of their legacy. We benefit from them. Similar to how the current BTL employees never come out from the protest line with the Belize Communication Workers for Justice. They in their offices, they benefit from the sacrifices of what past union members and leaders negotiate upon. So then the benefit pan that. Now, notice now, when the Belize Communication Workers for Justice media out there, you hardly see any unionists, any recognized union leader, So, indeed, the energy, the confidence, the knowledge, the people power strength where unions used to have throughout the region, in the, let's say, 40s, 50s, 60s, that not happen now. They're not only the Caribbean, but they're not the same anymore for a number of reasons. And so in the absence of that, this group decided, listen, we have to look after for we own interests. This is for we business. And so it's very important that, like Sister Sandra and others have said, that we as Belizean people need to sit down and today I want a big date for a number of reasons. So I'm very excited when I hear that today BTL wants to sit down with the former BTL employees and others that they represent. So this are they have like 5 things where it is being circulated on social media. 17th and it got through March 17th and it got through March 19, 2026. And then the Lenten season that tomorrow, Ash Wednesday, February 18th through Thursday, April 2nd, 2026. So the vibrations of today, especially as it relates to the universal vibration and then your individual vibration, so that one big day. So I really value that today BTL decide for. They never waste no time now. I hear Sister Emily Turner call yesterday and say one protest won't happen this week. He never said part of the protest won't happen, but because of the information knowledge sheet where they released yesterday, I came to the conclusion that they may have protest the Labor Department based on the information on the fact sheet. Morning, talk to me. Morning, lower your radio or TV, please. I hear myself in the background.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Morning. Sister Emily?
Yes, good morning.
Talk to it, sis. Talk to it. It's a people's victory. Go on, bad. Talk to it.
Victory indeed. I was listening to you, and I must say that one of the things that you had always mentioned is that when people organize, that's when they can save themselves. And I think that's a true thing that happened here. I want to go back a little bit and say that, we found ourselves as individuals having this claim when the CCJ made this ruling. And so we had 15 people that were former employees. They joined up and they took it all the way to the courts. And then you have this group then that found themselves as individuals but decided to collectively come together and do this. And indeed, it's about people coming together. And that's the true spirit of what treating and collective bargaining, and that's what we saw. Really, this is the results of it. It's a lot of emotions, but now we have to prepare our people we have to go to this meeting. We have to make sure that everybody will be treated fairly. For this process, we had already done it with about, let's say, 60, 70 people, and so I wrote a program for them where I calculate all of their severance based on when they started and when they finished and the interest. So we got we ducks line up.
Very good. Because when Brother Glenfield made that point, I never think about that point before. It is.
All right. So indeed, we are asking that the income tax is not taken out of it. I know that we are aware, though, that income tax has given BTL instructions to tax it. So BTL is following what this regulator has told them to do, right? So we'll see what is presented to us, and then once that's presented to us, we will decide our next steps. I think we had already said that if BTL it has to act on the instructions of income tax, then we have to then turn our focus to the Belize Tax Service Department and then deal with them on that matter. I think that would be fair because BTL would then just be an agent of the Belize Tax Service by collecting this withholding this income tax. I think one of the things I want to say is just the way even the calculation, how income tax is laid out, that you have a personal relief of 19,000, and then I tax the rest. Well, and then you have the other brackets, right? But to keep it simple, at least that personal relief should have been, because we're no longer working with BTL, and so at least a 19,000 should have came out first, and then you tax the difference. But they are not doing that. They are taxing it at 25% across the board. But the whole thing about it, we are not agreeing to that being taxed. We have already written to the Belize Tax Service about this. We have escalated it to the Financial Secretary, to the Minister of Finance, who is also our Prime Minister, and to the Attorney General, because the Belize Tax Service is supposed to be administering the tax laws, not interpreting it. And that's a little problem we are having, because everybody wants to throw their attorneys and be giving you their interpretation, but they have duties to administer. So we will discuss that. We will see what will come of what will be discussed with us in terms of tax. Also in terms of there's been some of the things being shown out about how we will be paid. We have to respect what the CCJ has ruled and said, what the High Court said. The servants must be paid with the interest in a lump sum. So I know that's where our minds are set, and that's how we will proceed for this meeting. I think that would be it. Really
I know, not happy, but that's not enough for me. I want you to describe for me what the response of the people, especially in the WhatsApp group. You're going to sleep last night if you got to sleep last night. Because one of the lesson for me, that I feel that they want pay or no. They're not got a choice. The CCJ rule they want pay. That doesn't matter when. But I feel that I was so focused on the resistance that I never give no thought to, well, when they I get enough? I just never see it because I'm ready for the protest this week. So what has been your sleep with it last night? What it feel like for you in your body, and how the others respond?
Yeah, I think that they were very excited. They could trust us in this process. They could trust us in this process. They thanked us a lot because, as you know, at night, it was hard to sleep because you're so excited, so happy. We never thought we would have been down this road in terms of all that we had to do. But I think I want to take it back, that it's important that we did this because a lot of young people saw it. We haven't had this type of let's get out there and let's fight for what is right, what is just, what is ours. It hasn't been done in a long time. And I think this group decided to, you know what, I will stand up for this, I will come out. So it's a lot of emotions here. The thanks are coming. There's so many people have say thanks, and it's on every medium, all of our phones, all of our on our social media. You have a lot of people from the public. A lot of people are starting to reach out to us to tell us about the issues they're having so that we could help them. And we are putting...
I want to ask your sister, Emily. I look forward that we're not going away after we get all the money. But one of the requests I have for Uno, I want Uno can teach me how BTL work, because the BTL board no intend to tell we nothing. But finally, then I want to tell we, as I could say, the Belize Communication Workers for Justice could show Uno better than could tell Uno. And Uno build a company. So Uno, most of them people at the BTL board have never worked for BTL. I could get that straight. Yes, sister?
That's correct, yeah. I think out of their executive team, it's only one person that has tenure. The rest of the people are new. All of the projects that were done, those people there, they were not part of those bigger transformation projects. The Diginet that we see, which is fiber, the LTE that we see with the mobile, or the Digicel, which is advanced LTE in our urban areas. they were not there. Those things were hard to do because we were new to the technology. We had to do it ourselves. You know what, if I make you they learn on technology, have to mobilize 120 installations per day. They don't know, and you start at one per day, and then you have to train the technician, strategize. We do want to share that, because I think that was one of the things that we said. We help to build this organization. We know about all the nuts and bolts there. So there is. And we as Belizeans need to learn our own company. We need to have that interest to learn how it is. I think I have had the honor to work there, and what knowledge I can share, I will share. I mean, and in terms of like, there are these annual reports that are sent out. They are public information that we could go through and to be able to understand it, to be able to see, how this company exists. And how it's performing. So yes, I know that there's knowledge we have that we can share to help the public become knowledgeable, and so that we could ask the right questions. When I think I heard Mrs. Coe talking about
of a transformational leader, and I don't recall anybody else. I just tell you, if I'm wrong, I'm a memory shot, and you can hold me accountable anytime. But this Sister Emily Turner, respect is due. I salute you, sister, and big respect. I'm really proud of you, and you're an example for I follow as one community leader. We're genuinely invested in our people and cable people.
I really want to tell you that. I really want to tell you that. I have a great team. We work on the same level together. We respect each other a lot. And we built a beautiful friendship and a relationship together. And I think the result is what we are seeing of people that highly respect each other, and they just enjoy working together. And all of us come with ideas, and we just turn it into something great. So I think that's one of the ways. Not to try tear down each other. Nobody's try fight for this. That's not what we are about. We are about everybody's included, and any idea could come from anywhere, and we take it and we listen. That's one other thing. We listen to each other. We listen to everybody in the group, everybody's opinion. We find a way to make it all come together. And I think it's grounded on humility, because sometimes the egos get the best of us. And I will tell you that I think for me, I get humbled when I hear the accolades that you just said. It's such a I don't know, but it's the humility that we all have. There's an organizing group. We're so respectful to each other, but we're humble in the way we treat each other. So it's quite a journey. It's a lot to reflect, a lot to share. Yeah.
big respect, Sister Emily Turner. Example of only organized people and save the people. Big win for the Belize Communication Workers for Justice. Every single one of the people will participate in whatever way you participated. North, south, east, west, all the keys. Yes. Foreign as well. Belizean diaspora and invested. Yes. Big respect, Sister Emily Turner, and everybody. We'll keep our eye on it because it's not done. This is just a reset for we as Belizean. Thanks for the call, sis.
Thank you.
One love. Bye-bye. Break time.
We recently formed MOUs with the American Hotel and Lodging Education Institute, which is the education arm of the American Hotel and Lodging Association, and also with the American Culinary Federation to do culinary training. We're here to celebrate our accomplishments. And this is not about replacing Belizean cuisine. This is about, we want the Belizean cuisine, we want the Belizean richness and diversity, right? So this is about your skills. You all know what you all learned, so it's about transferring that skill.
We want to inspire this career because, you know, it's amazing. You love what you do, right? And it really is something that I think we can inspire other young Belizeans to undertake. And it's now part of your responsibility as those who have received this training and see a pathway for greater things.
Just to put it into perspective, there's only about 6,000 certified executive chefs in North America. There is only 69 certified master chefs in the world. There is less than 10 certified executive pastry chefs in this entire world. And now in Belize, we have 3 sitting in this room.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
So you don't hear about how you could shop online with Builders Hardware?
It's easy and convenient. Plus, you get special deals and discounts online where you not get in at the store. Just log on to shopbuildersbz.com and pay with your Visa, MasterCard, debit, or credit card. You could choose to pick up your order from the Smart Lacaneda Builders or Easy could deliver for you. If that's a big thing, the Builders truck could deliver for you. If you need more information about anything, you could start chat right here online with a salesperson. We're ready to help you. No need to burn gas and waste time in a traffic. Go to shopbuildersbz.com.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Welcome back to Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. I want to put the landline calls on hold. On WhatsApp, I have Sister Christine Perriott, former BTL employee, first woman that Belize to graduate from Belize Technical College, first woman technician at BTL. And not because she and her life partner, Brother Paul Perriott, they're both known unionists. They live the States right now, but they stay engaged and very much a part of the Belize Coalition, the Belize Communication Workers for Justice process. They absolutely support our in alliance. Morning, sister. I know I'm going to try to get me from yesterday. Talk to it. That's what I want to tell you this morning.
Morning, sister. Yesterday, I am on call because I'm going to answer a question about the severance. Where you ask if how the employers they could just come up with this money or for lead education for that. If that is still your question line of question, that is what I had wanted to call in yesterday for.
Yes, that's still one live question, especially when I think of small and medium employers where operating at a red, barely pay the employees on time. Where they want to get the money from for put aside so that former employees, based on how much time they work with the corporation or company or organization, for make them could get it as a cushion after they could no longer work after all the years of service. Tell me the answer.
Well, I have a answer, but perhaps not like the answer because I don't know, economist. But the severance, like we discussed on the Sunday review on statutory obligation, meaning it's mandated that the employer pay this fundamental right to the worker once they reach the entitlement of severance. Now, remember, Sister Emily bring up that severance have different categories, the 5 to 10 years, the 10 years onward, and then you have different conditions falling under those categories. Like termination by BTL, you resign, you decide to retire on 60 or after your contract end, and of course, there's a limitation of dismissal for cause, like misconduct, stealing, etc. Or if the worker abandons without a cause. Those are like the two main part where a worker of long term does not qualify or is not entitled. Now, severance being a mandated obligation, according to section 194.3 from the severance pay provision, it says arise for the employer. It's they call it cessation date, where when your employment ends with the employer and you had one of these categories, either the 5 to 10 years, you get a week of your wages for every full year. And then if you have 10 and more, you get 2 weeks of your wages for a completed year. And then they have the amendment that occurred in December 31st, 2021, where if you retire after that period, December 31st, 2021, any years before 2021, you get 1 year, and then any years after. So from a financial perspective, when you hire an employee, you already know if that employee kicks in 5 years, you have to start to set money aside. You don't wait till the end of 5 years. You start kicking when the person become a permanent employee for you. You won't wait for 5 years, between 5 and 10 years, and the person, okay, the time for pay severance, will be like, okay, I need to come up with this 1 week per year wages or 2 weeks per year wages. You start investing, putting aside for money for that particular worker. And timing, when you timing, Sister YaYa. So when you have your annual audit, because every company, every business have a annual audit and determines if you make a profit, if you fail, if you meet your profit margin, how you have to adjust and all that. When that happens, that's like when you check the severance, because severance for the employer is like a debt you have to pay for the worker when they become entitled. So when you do that annual audit or financial accrual, you have to, there is that check that you have to engage in or ensure that, okay, I am putting up this amount for Sister YaYa. She don't have 2 years. I have to make sure I have this 1 week of wages continual. It's like a separate accounting. You see where I go with it?
Yes.
Okay. So, and like I said, it's like similar when you have a kid and you just save, you're setting aside money for this kid to go to college. So when they come, this full blown, maybe 15,000 is not just gonna come and you go like, okay, what I have to do, I'm gonna mortgage my house, or I'm gonna sell my truck for make my kid go to college. You just set aside this fund all the time, all the while, so that when graduation time come and they're ready, and whichever college they get accepted to, you already have only that set aside money for the worker, like what we call a severance, so that if whichever one of the condition occurred under the categories, you already had the money set aside for that individual worker.
I hear you. I make sense. But then I think about people oftentimes that are going a small, let's say you got a taco stand and you hire one worker. And I don't make excuse to the employers. This is an opportunity for the employers learn, future employers learn, and for employees and future employees learn. You don't have no idea about the structure of how to set up one business. You know what are your expense. You know how much money you make after you sell your product. You subtract your expense from the amount of your investment, and then that will left you figure out how I pay myself and pay the worker. And we barely scrape that to make that happen, much less, no, I have to go set one, nada money aside. And that because we're not talking about paying to Social Security. So we don't might have enough time this morning, but these are conversations we need for stretch. And especially for the employees overstand. One letter we get paid minimum wage. We don't get paid living wage. That means whatever they pay they keep up with the cost of things where they go up. Because everything they go up, but we money to stay for most of it the same way. And so we struggle just for live. Not that way if we have an emergency, somebody have to go to a hospital or whatever life emergency you may have, you don't have the money. So that understand that we as employees, the service of, if you want to have one business, these are the things you're responsible for. Employer and employees, you need to know your responsibility as employees so you can hold your employers accountable.
Yeah, and here for the last word, quickly summarize it. So severance, in our way and how you are also your piece should chime in, they're like a debt. So the minute you hire this employee, you already start to acquire a debt. Now, if the employee survive at your company for 5 years, know that you are obligated by law to pay a severance to this employee. 5 years, 10 years, and especially if they go long term after 10 years, know that you have this liability to pay that debt because it becomes payable legally, and they could carry you to court or they could use the Ministry of Labor for claim that remedy or claim that debt that liability became arise at the date of cessation. And it is very key when you say that the employees, and that's for the employer, for the employees, it's very key that you understand what you are entitled to. For example, BTL is planning to acquire Smart. All those employees from Smart know that when they buy over Smart, they also buy over all of my years of service. Think about that. Yeah. I mean, you don't owe so much for my employee, and now you're going to go buy Smart SpeedNet. You're taking on all, not half, not some, not 98% years of service from all those
others make the next generation like Sister Emily and pass this baton of working together collectively and holding power accountable. And when I tell her then call for this particular couple, I mean when I tell her then call for them marrow, then call for them marrow. So big respect for how they stand up and still and they shake it, because they take serious bad word lick. Real talk, and I don't take it lightly, like they take lick. So big respect to you and Brother Paul Sistrin and for staying engaged in the process. Mad respect. Lot of love. Thanks for the call.
Thank you to YaYa, and thank you, please. Bye.
Ask break.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Get ready for fantastic discounts. From now through to September 30th, Venice is having store-wide discounts on tools, paints, appliances, plumbing and electrical products, lights and fans, household items, and much more. Visit a Venice store near you to enjoy fantastic discounts from now through to September 30th. Only at Venice. Quality and savings.
(024477). Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, and the time for Shut the Shop. Give thanks for everybody who call in. We really value when our people participate in our meaningful conversation and talk about whatever they want to talk about. We talk about so much things this morning. And so we thank everybody who call in, and give thanks to streamers, people listening on radio, on one of the social media platforms. We thank you sincerely because we recognize the value of people engagement. And that was the space here, that was Zinc Fence there for the people who have us. And we really want to tell people genuinely, like, take some time to reflect, rethink, and see if you're willing to relearn, to learn, to listen, to be kind, to share, so that we could act in our own best interests, individually and especially collectively. And tomorrow morning, Brother Most High should be here. Remember, say, as the Belize Communication Workers for Justice show, only organized people want to save the people.
People get victimized, that's why together for better we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake